Right now we're looking for CRT monitors because we're gonna make a 90s commercial video and we want it to look as 90s as possible. Keyboards to match, beige brown colored mouse. And we got flappies. Don't copy that floppy.
So we just filmed Johnny at 12 frames per second, which is something that the GH4 lets you do. And if you have a Canon camera, like we use our T2i, you can put Magic Lantern on it and then actually lower the recording frame rate. So what that gives you...
What is Magic Lantern?
Magic Lantern, thank you for asking, Braden. Magic Lantern is like a hack for your camera. If you have a Canon, there's certain models, most of them work. So like the 7D, the T2i, the 5D, which probably a lot of people have. But if you put Magic Lantern on there, gives you a lot more options, like for... Just like you can put like crop marks on it so you can like see what you're framing better. You can do, it gives you audio meters so you can like lower your audio levels, and also something like this where you can vary your frame rate. So anyway, long story short, what that's going to give you is, if you've ever seen Saving Private Ryan, you have that like opening beach scene where Tom Hanks gets shelled and then everything's kind of like weirdly like choppy. It's because it's like slowed down at like, I don't know what they shot at, but you're usually shooting 24. They probably slowed it like halfway down to 12. But then you increase your motion blur. So you get this like really streaky, like...
How do you increase your motion blur?
So you just once you go down in frames, in like frames per second, so 12 frames per second. Normally your shutter can't go past like 30 or something. We can go down to like 13. That's like a 13th of a second. So... you get this like really, really streaky motion blur. Like I'm barely moving my hand right here and it's blurring quite a bit because it's like exposing each frame for a long time.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Johnny here. It's my house. It's my parents' house. Come on in, I'll show you around. We knock first here, you know what I'm saying? Here we got the opening room. We got the computer study room here. You know what I'm saying? I got these lights just in case to keep the house illuminated. I learned that word today. We got this we got a doormat. And we got some dogs barking downstairs. You don't want to see none of that though, because they all deadly, you know what I'm saying? And we got like these couches here. Yeah, we got 3, 1, 2, 3. Counting. Got like a fridge here too, you know what I'm saying? We got like tons of goodness in here, you know what I'm saying? Alright, cut. Right now we're at my parents' place in Corvallis, Oregon. We live in Portland, and we came to visit Corvallis so that we could shoot inside a sweet commercial. So, when you're shooting a video and you want to have like a little bit of extra coolness factor to it, adding smoke is a great way to do that. It just looks cool. Light looks cool traveling through it. So here we go. Blast off!
Pull it, twist it, pop it.
Okay, so here we are back at our apartment house. For basically anything you want to do, there is a tutorial online to show you how to do it. Videocopilot.net is fantastic, but you can also just seriously go onto YouTube or even just Google it and be like, how do I make this look like the 90s? And that's what I did when we were putting this together. And you add your own spice to it or whatever, but you can find anything online to kind of give you tips. And so I looked at maybe 3 or 4 different tutorials to get different pieces of how to patch it together, because there's tons of different effects that are very subtle that all add together to make it look like the footage is old or dated or whatever. So there's scratches, there's just blowing out certain colors, there's moving the colors around and then bringing it back in, and there's just a lot of different things. So you can always go online and get little bits and pieces of it, but you're always going to have to there's always multiple ways to do any given effect. So that's a big deal, is being able to not just do the effect, but do it efficiently so that you don't spend too much time on it either. So that's what we did. We just went and looked on, how do we do this? And then we knew how to do it a little bit already, but it's good to get second opinions and stuff like that. So that's what we did. And one of the most important things about doing visual effects is doing it efficiently and not wasting too much time. So if any corner you can cut without losing too much quality, you should probably do it. So that's what we try to focus on. That's what we did for this video. And hopefully you guys liked it. If you have any particular specific questions, go ahead and leave it in the comments and we can address it in one of our next behind the scenes, or we can even just reply on here. depending on what the question is, of course. But yeah. So there you have it. That's how you get the 90s feel. You look online for tutorials for how to do it.
One thing we focused on this video is keeping the VFX shots to a minimum. And actually, we didn't really need that many in the first place because it was mostly done practically. We just needed to like do stuff like replace the screen, put something on like the floppy disk, and at the end we knew we were gonna do like some cool like, you know, lightning, like some lightning in the background shot, because that's kind of what defined the 90s and 80s. You had like the text that comes out and then like the lightning's like. So anyway, for the floppy disk right here, on the floppy disk itself is just, it says Microsoft on it, and you know, it's nothing interesting, but went through, replaced that, put League of Legends, like made a little, you know, mock-up, you know, it says Rito on it, which is cool, but it's just a mock-up what League would use as a floppy drive back in the 90s to install their games, and then track that on. And you know, it's something that's like a simple effect in the video, you would think, and it would probably have saved us time just to print out a floppy disk that had that, but you know, sometimes things don't go your way. Anyway, it's something that you would think is simple, but you know, you get into the nitty-gritty on this and it's like, okay, well, I need a stupid shadow to go over the floppy disk, so you want the image to show up. And if you start removing stuff, it's like, okay, so I gotta remove everything. Okay, there. Let's get a shadow back in there, but that's just a solid with like some masks around it. All those things add up, but I've done this before, and I knew what we were gonna get ourselves into. When we shot it, we were very careful. We tried to be very careful about handling the objects so that we could get a good track on certain things. And that's something that certainly helps. Here's just another example of that. Just a you know, this one was actually kind of a pain in the butt, but these are all just the same kind of idea. You know, see, we had Braden's like thumb over here. We made sure like this stayed clean. Anyway, there's that, and then the end shot. Just tried to amplify this as much as we could. Added the smoke helps immensely. Smoke. If you have go get a fog machine right now. If you shoot videos, if you're shooting indoor, even if you're shooting outdoor, it's probably still useful. Go get a fog machine, like a $30 fog machine from Amazon. You can fill an entire house with a little bit of fog if you need to. You might need to take out your smoke detectors. That can be an issue. But so don't do it in like, you know,
when there's an actual fire happening.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't use a fog machine during a fire. That's a poor life decision. Mm-hmm. So anyway, here's the shot rendered out. You know, we got this nice volumetric lighting behind Johnny now, and then so that's all added. The lightning, of course, is what's really nice. You know, get it on the floor too, helps a ton. And just tried to make this as generally. Look at this face, man. That is the face of a champion. Look at that. How did he do that? I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. But anyway, lots of lightning, lens flares, some goofy sound effects will go a long ways, and that's how you make movie magic.
Cool. Thanks.